Good afternoon, guys. My name is Ruben Carrera, and my ICA project is on Uber. Alright, so I'll show you guys a quick video. The video is basically the birth of Uber, the struggles that they had to when they first started the company, and the founders' struggles, and basically why they created it. The first 2 minutes explains how and why they created Uber, and the rest of it pretty much explains the struggles and their plans for the future. Alright, so quick introduction. First, we're going to go over some Uber facts. Then we're going to cover the sustainability framework on each one of the different frameworks: structural, human resource, political, and cultural. So in the structural framework, we're going to cover the horizontal organizational chart, and Henry Froyle. In the human resource framework, we're going to cover McGregor X and Y theory, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, group dynamics. For political framework, we're going to go over French and Ravens, Mintzberg's, and manager as a politician. And for cultural framework, we're going to go over the organization as a theory, symbols and cultures, and we're going to go over organization, culture, and action. Alright, so a little bit of Uber facts. So Uber is a transportation service company. They offer many different services such as Uber Eats, Uber Taxi, Uber Freight, and the most common one is just Uber on the app. They were founded in 2009. They're a young company. They've only been around for 10 years. They're valued around $70 billion and they're set to IPO this April. Their services are being used in 6 different continents and 76 different countries. There's over 2 million Uber employees, and they orchestrate around 5 billion rides a day. A horizontal organization is one that emphasizes creativity and innovation. Uber is currently one of the most innovative organizations in the world, so they make sure that they only hire people that want to engage with the company. The organizational chart of Uber is hierarchical. The CEO and chairman of Uber is named Dara Khosrowshahi. Sorry for my pronunciation. The founders of Uber are Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp. In total, there are 15 different board of directors, and those are just a few of the 3, but the main ones. And underneath them is the CEO and the different roles. Alright, next I'm going over Henry Froyle. So Henry Froyle says that there are 6 different functions, and these include planning, organizing, directing, controlling, planning, and forecasting. Alright, so Uber plans on starting their IPO around April. This is going to give them more control and power for the future. They organize their business by having an effective organizational chart. And lastly, they command their employees to be respectful and polite to everyone. So in order for Uber to sustain their structural framework, they have to continue to emphasize innovation, and they're going to have to go through and follow through with their IPO, because this is going to give them more power and control. And since they are a young company, they need a strong foundation, especially if they want their structure to be solid. Okay, so next I'm going over the human resource frameworks of Uber. So for McGregor X and Y theory, he basically says that there's 2 types of companies. One where the X is where they lack innovation and creativity and they're kind of unmotivated, versus Y is a organization that has employees that want to engage with the company and they want to start and express their ideas. So Uber is using obviously the Y theory. They're using the Y theory because they're the most innovative customers and they emphasize creativity. They are constantly being told that it is important for them to express their ideas, and if they want to stay on top, that their employees are going to have to step up and engage with them. For Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there are 5 different needs in an employee. There's psychological, safety, belongingness, esteem, and lastly, self-actualization. So for psychological, Uber is making sure that their employees have enough to eat, have shelter, rides, water, whatever they need. They're able to do this because their employees have different forms of making money. There's not just one service, they could provide many different services. For safety, Uber emphasizes safety, and they want to make sure that not only are their employees safe, but so are the consumers. For belongingness, Uber allows their employees to have a flexible schedule, so this allows the employees to spend time with people they love or friends. For esteem, they're being satisfied on their apps. The app allows them to be motivated. They can set goals, and if they accomplish them, Uber will send them a notification on their phone saying congratulations. And for self-actualization, they're actually being fulfilled because they use the 3Y, bringing in creativity. For group dynamics, Uber is highly diverse. They're so diverse, in fact, that in the United States, there are more minority workers than Americans. They hire a chief diversity and inclusion officer named Bo Jung Lee. And on top of this, they do a Myers-Briggs personality test in the interview to make sure that they don't have a bunch of employees that have the same personality. So in order for them to sustain their human resource framework, they're going to have to continue to promote diversity. They're going to have to continue to care for their employees. And on top of this, they have to follow up on their diversity program project. Okay, so next I'll go over the political framework of Uber. So French and Reagan basically says that there are 5 different forces in any situation, and the more power someone has in one force, the more power they have to influence others. So 5 different forces are coercion, reward, legitimacy, expert, and referent. In the article I covered, Uber drivers are being accused of sexually harassing their clients. So for coercion, the power goes to the government and the users. For reward, it goes to Uber. It goes to Uber because they have to pretty much end the sexual harassment. For legitimacy, it goes for the most powerful entities, and in this situation, it's going to be Uber and the government. For expert, it's going to be the government because they're able to make new laws and they know what Uber can and can't do. And for referent, it's going to be the users and the communities. It's up to them to influence others. That way, they can either ban Uber or tell Uber that they have to step it up and they're not going to use their service anymore. Okay, so for Mintzberg's, I covered a case named 1 year after Uber spread a crash. So last year, Uber was testing their autonomous vehicles and it hit a woman that was in the street. Unfortunately, she died. So he basically says that there are also sources of power, and these are resources, technical skills, knowledge, legal protection, and personal skills. So the external power in this example is going to be the government. They have more power, and since they have more power, they told Uber that they pretty much have to put a halt to their autonomous vehicle testing and make sure that everything is all regulated. If Uber can gain trust from them, they can hopefully one day continue to test their autonomous vehicle, but since it's going to take time, they're going to have to just make sure they follow all the regulations. Manager as a politician. So Uber has to prove to the public that they are trustworthy and a safe company to test their autonomous vehicles. They have to gain trust from not only the government but also from its consumers. Personally, if I know that they're gonna hit random people on the street, I wouldn't want to use their service because I don't think it's ethical. And lastly, they need to be able to prove to the external factors that they care about safety and they want to make changes to benefit the public. Okay, so in order for Uber to sustain their political framework, they're going to have to be transparent with their shareholders, consumers, and also the public. They have to address any problems. And lastly, they have to gain trust. So in the future, they could influence others easily and have more power and say. For cultural framework, organization as theory. Dramatic theory is the idea that there is an internal and external focus in a theater. Uber is the internal focus, so they need to portray the external. That way, they see them as a professional company even though they're young. The internal coalition has to be on the same page as everyone inside in order to succeed. If they do this, then the drama will be good and shareholders will continue to invest. For organizational symbols and cultures, this pretty much goes over the way that we do things here. And the way that Uber operates is they try to be fun and innovative. Uber is one of the most innovative corporations. In fact, 2017, they were voted top 10 most innovative companies in the world. The company will continue to be innovative in the upcoming years just because technology is so sought after nowadays. Next, organizational culture and action. The Eagle Group's sources of success includes play, spirit, and culture. So it basically says that it all can't just be work. For an organization to be successful, they're going to have some kind of fun in there, else the work environment will be poor. So Uber will achieve cultural success because they're a fun company, as most startups are. Their website states that it is going to take hard work, a lot of love, and support from employees so they can solve problems they might face. This is going to want to keep employees retained because they want to accomplish this mission. So in order for them to sustain their cultural framework, they're going to have to keep hiring innovative and creative people. They're going to have to get everyone on the same page. That way everyone continues to sustain a unique culture. And lastly, Uber has to promote diversity, so there's not just one person in groupthink. Everyone's constantly challenging each other. Okay, so my opinion. In my opinion, I believe that Uber is in the right direction. They just need to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And they need to make sure that they sustain their core competencies. I'm a believer because I think that what they're doing is good for the public and they're making a positive impact in the world. So in conclusion, I did Uber facts. I went over the sustainability framework in each framework's structural, human resource, political, cultural framework. So in the culture framework, again, I went over the horizontal organization, organizational chart, Henry Fell. For human resource framework, I went over McGregor X and Y theories, Maslow hierarchy of needs, group dynamics. For political framework, I went over French and Ravens, Henry Mintzberg, and manager as a politician. And lastly, for cultural framework, I went over organization as theater, organization, symbols, and cultures. And I went over organizational culture and action. Alright, if there's no questions, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you. Thanks for listening. My references. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good day.